Morty and the Mousetown Gazette. It's almost too good to be true, he thought as he smiled himself in the mirror. Ben's newspaper bags rested on his shoulders. When he felt the weight of the bags, it felt like the weight of responsibility that came with the job of newspaper carrier. I finally become a real money-making mouse, he said aloud. Every young mouse in Mousetown wanted to be a newspaper carrier. When he couldn't believe he had his chance, he replayed the scene from earlier on the front porch in his mind. My family is leaving tomorrow for Uncle Joe's funeral, Ben said. I'll only be gone for 3 days, but I need something to do my paper route. I'll pay you, and if you do a good job converting the route, Ben explained, my supervisor might give you your own route when one opens up. When having delivering the Gazette for more than a year, he had faithfully tossed the paper onto Morty's doorsteps every morning, long before Morty woke up. Ben's older brother had the route before Ben. When Ben's brother left for college, he passed it on to Ben. Morty dad always complimented Ben on his diligence with the route. Morty had even seen him slip Ben a couple of dollars for a tip. Getting up early was Morty's favorite idea, but he was already planning what he would buy for his earnings. He replayed more of the scene in his mind. It's really, really important to me that you don't mess up, Morty, Ben said in a very serious tone. The Mousetown Gazette has a special incentive right now for carriers who maintain a perfect service record for 1 year. We all get a free trip to Magic Mouseland. The price includes airfare, 3 nights in the Mouseland Motel, and passes to the amusement park and all the rides. I have 9 months down and only 3 to go. I'm ready to pack my bags, Ben said with a smile. I promise I won't mess up with your service record, he said, smiling back at his friend. And went over what he had to do in his mind. He had to make sure he delivered all the newspapers on the route by 6 a.m., no matter what. He had to count the papers and make sure he only delivered to the right houses. And people called the Gazette to say they had not received a newspaper. Ben's record was ruined. Morty also had to make sure the newspaper remained dry. If it rained, he had to protect the papers and put each one in a plastic bag. And finally, he had to make sure the newspaper landed on the doorstep of each house, not driveway, lawn, bushes, or worse, the roof. That night, Morty went to bed earlier than usual time. He set his Mega Mouse alarm clock for 4 a.m., but he couldn't sleep. Each time he closed his eyes, he imagined missing the alarm and laying his best buddy down. He stared at the clock and watched the minutes tick. He was up before the alarm went off and got an early start. He put on his paper bags and headed out into the dark, misty morning on his bike. The bundle of papers was stacked by Ben's garage. We loaded them into the paper bags and groaned away. It made getting on the bike difficult. Now I know why carriers toss the papers, Morty thought. Getting on and off the bike to place the papers on doorsteps would be really tough. But that is exactly what Morty had to do. Each time he tossed the paper at the doorstep, it fell short or landed in the garden. Then he would have to get on his bike, pick it up, and place it on the porch. We kept checking the list and looking for house numbers to make sure that he only had papers to subscribers. It fell short and landed in the garden. He didn't want to have to go back and get a paper that has delivered to a wrong house. It's green his poor paper flinging skills and not knowing the route. It took Moya a full 2 hours to finish. When he returned home, his shoulders ached. He barely made it upstairs to the bedroom. He didn't even take time to wash the black newspaper ink off his paws. Exhausted and fully dressed, he dropped into bed. 1 second later, Mega Mouse clock chimed 6 a.m. Moy had a hard time staying awake at school. The afternoon almost fell asleep at dinner. He hit the sack at 8 p.m. and was jolted awake. A shrill alarm at 4 a.m. It took Moy a moment to remember why he was getting up when everyone else in the house was sound asleep. I'll be back in this bed soon, he thought. He slipped on his jeans, threw a sweatshirt over his pajama top, and grabbed the paper bags. Day 2, as the Mousetown Gazette paper carrier went a little better. When he hit the porch on the first floor, more than half of the house. He remembers all the houses well enough to toss the paper without having to check the list. This time, when he was snuggled in his bed and soon long for 6 a.m. paper delivery deadline. When he wasn't so tired at school on the second day, he was realizing that paper route was hard work. He dreaded facing another day of lugging those heavy papers through the dark, quiet streets while everyone else in Mousetown slept. On the morning of day 3, Morty was pretty sure he never wanted a paper route. He had stayed up too late the night before reading Mega Mouse comics. Then when the alarm went out, he rolled over. I just sleep 10 more minutes, he thought. After all, I finished plenty early yesterday. When he woke to a sound telephone ringing at 7:30 a.m., he looked at the clock and jumped in panic. If there had been a lead in Moi's tail and feet, he wouldn't have noticed. His heart was too heavy. Moi seemed to move in slow motion as he loaded the newspaper into the bags and pedaled along the route. Some angry subscribers were standing on their porch. Others opened the door on the minute they heard the paper hit the porch. In his haste, Moi flung some paper short and let them on the lawn. As Moi placed the last paper into the hands of Stern Mouse, it began to rain. Moi couldn't tell raindrops of tears were rolling down his cheeks as he rushed back to Ben's driveway to get plastic bags. When he rode through the entire route, again rescuing jammed papers that hadn't been taken inside, he folded them, stuffed them in the bags, and laid them on the porches. When he couldn't concentrate in school, and he didn't feel like eating lunch. Ben would be coming home today, and thanks to Morty, his dream of Magic Mouse Land was gone. Walking over to school, Morty passed Ben's house. Luckily, Ben and his family weren't home yet. Morty decided it would be best if he told Ben what happened before Ben heard from the Gazette delivery supervisor. Morty got called another message on Ben's answering machine, asking him to call the minute he got home. Now all Moi had to do was come up with a plan to save Ben's trip from Magic Mouse Land. When Ben arrived home, he listened to messages from 6 angry customers who tried to reach him before calling the Gazette. He covered his face with his paws. Ben was heartbroken and took a moment to think before he called Morty. Morty, I'm back, he said in a flat, sad voice. Tell me what happened in the paper route. We wish you could think of a good excuse, but there's one thing about Morty. He always tells the truth. Ben, I'm really sorry. It's my fault that there are complaints on your service record. I've arranged to meet with the delivery supervisor. Hopefully, I can convince him that your route will still show a perfect service record if I hadn't failed. The next morning, we arrived early at the Mousetown Gazette. He sat in the reception area, waiting for the delivery supervisor to arrive. He could smell the familiar ink scent from paper bags in the air. When the supervisor arrived, he shook Moi's paw and invited him into his office. There was a Magic Mouse Land poster on the wall and a list of mice who had already earned the trip. Morty sat up straight and cleared his throat. Sir, I have let down a good friend. Ben asked me to cover his newspaper route. I was responsible for the complaints on Ben's route yesterday morning. Ben was out of town. He trusted me, and I didn't deliver the papers on time. A supervisor looked closely at Morty, but he didn't say a word. Morty continued, I would like to write a letter to Ben's customers and apologize. I'd include 50 cents in each envelope to pay for yesterday's paper. A supervisor raised his eyebrows. If the Gazette guarantees delivery by 6 a.m., and I kept that from happening, then I'm responsible for buying that morning paper. The supervisor seemed to like the idea, so we forged on with the next part of his plan. I'm asking you not to punish Ben for my mistake. Please don't count my mistakes against his perfect record. I know how much it means to him to earn the trip to Magic Mouse Land. It was quiet in the office for what seemed a very long time. Finally, a supervisor spoke. Young Mouse, rules are rules. That trip is with the very best paper carriers. Ben has been one of our best this year. Knowing it was you and not he who made mistakes changes things. I'll give Ben a call and let him know that his record will not be affected. The next morning, Morty set his Mega Mouse alarm clock and got up to do the paper route with Ben. He was delivering his apology notes and refund. Well, Ben tossed his papers. Ben, now I realize that delivering the morning paper is a difficult job, Morty said. Ben smiled in spite of his heavy paper bags. Well, Morty, I guess I won't ask you to cover the route while I'm in Magic Mouse Land. I just don't think I am alright to be a paper carrier, Morty admitted. It's a good thing since the Gazette is the only paper in Mousetown. Ben chuckled. After this, there is no way we'll ever hire you. Morty laughed too. Then he quietly picked up a heavy rock and placed it in one of Ben's paper bags. Alright, see you to the corner. Bye.